I found some batteries here. Give me a second to get this in, and we'll be rolling back again. We'll be down some situation. All right, there we go. Do we have audio? Uh-oh, something ain't right. Hopefully we have audio, because I can't tell. I'm not getting no audio coming out of my stuff. Very strange. So do we have audio? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. Testing there. Oh, we got a little short going on here. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, yeah, even the audio on the program wasn't going. So, okay, sometimes I got to tap the mic. Sorry if you got headsets on, it blows your eardrums out. All right, here we go. Let's get back into this. All right, guys, welcome to America's opposing the unfair, unfunded MS4 rain tax. You know, this is what I talk about a lot, about that company, the Global Trading Company, that they are a weather engineering program. That's the company that's going to be taking over the weather generation out in Iran, out in the Middle East, here coming up on the 20th through June 20th. But that's what they want to do. They want to tax you for the rain. They want you to buy the rain. But it's pretty crazy how these climate scientists and, you know, they want to mandate everything they can on us. So so we'll get out of that one. Bangladesh High Court issues directive to cut cell phone tower radiation. Now, why aren't they doing that here? We are inundated with the electromagnetic fog, with all the cell phone towers, with all the Bluetooth, all the Wi-Fi. Now they want to break out some 5G, 6G millimeter microwaves that's going to affect our DNA, which we're going to get into that. So the High Court of Bangladesh issued a 11-point directive to protect health and the environment from mobile phone tower radiation. That includes stopping the installation of towers on residents' rooftops, schools, and in populated areas. It'll also require eliminating towers with high levels of radiation. There's an estimated 35,000 telecom towers in Bangladesh alone. Now, if you haven't ever seen my video with the cell phone towers, you need to go look at that. When you see the map of the United States and just how many towers are out there, it will blow your mind. So right here, this tells you right here what our government, what they think about us, what they think about the animals and the plants and the insects. You know, we're hardly we haven't even seen any honeybees this year yet. I've seen one bumblebee. That's it. So it's getting really insane out here. These guys don't care. They want to make as much money as they can. You know, they want to offer all this high-speed internet. They want you to connect everything you have in your house to this internet of everything. They want to listen to you. They already listen to you through your TVs, through your Alexas, through your thermostats, through your, you know, everything. Everything has Wi-Fi in it. And tracking and all that stuff. But this just shows you what they think of us. It's why they don't admit to the geoengineering programs, even though all the other countries brag about what they're doing with the weather engineering programs. So here is this is a DNA is a fractal antenna in electromagnetic fields. So your DNA, you know, it gets affected by these EMS, the different frequency ranges. And I'm not going to get into all this. I'm going to put all these in the description. but the EMF interactions with the DNA are similar over a range of non-ionizing frequencies, extremely low ELF and radio frequency RF ranges. There are similar effects in ionizing range, but the reactions are more complex. The wide variety range of interaction with EMF is a functional characteristic of a fractal antenna, and DNA appears to possess the two structural characteristics of fractal antennas: electronic conduction and self-symmetry. These properties contribute to greater relativity of DNA and EMF in the environment. The DNA damage could account for increase in cancer epidemiology, as well as variations of the rate of chemical evolution in early geologic history. So that's big time, man. But they will not, research into this 5G to see exactly what it's going to do to the human body. We're already being irradiated with the 4G, the 3G, the cell phone towers, the Bluetooth. Now, this is pretty crazy. These seeing living nanofibers in real time. Japanese scientists observed artificial nanofibers self-sorting into organized structures in real time. This brings scientists closer toward developing intelligent, next-generation biometrics that poses flexibility and diversity of functions that exist in a living cell. This is Morgellons right here. This is the Morgellons right here. All the people that are suffering from the Morgellons, this is what this is. The living nanofibers that are being dropped out of these aerosols. That's what this is. Anyway, let me copy this link. I think I forgot to put this link where I need it. All right, here we go. Let me copy that. Not always completely set up here, so. All right, I didn't have these in order, so we may be jumping around. So Governor Inslee National Climate Plan calls for banning sales of new gas-powered cars by 2030. Yeah, right. So he has the ambitious blueprint for combating climate change, including a ban on sale of new cars, light trucks, and buses powered by gasoline, diesel, or natural gas. Let me give this guy a little bit of information here. How about you ban the cruise liners? They put out the same emissions as 1 million cars a day. How about the weather engineering ships and cargo ships out in the Pacific, which are probably dumping 100 times that? How about all the geoengineering across the skies, across the planet that's causing the climate change? We have the natural sun cycles, but these guys, there's a war going on, but these guys are all in it, and they're all against us, and I'm going to show you that here in just a few minutes. The U.S. government accidentally released electromagnetic mind control documents in a FOIA request. So when researchers Curtis Wallman of the website received files resulting from his Freedom of Information Act on Antifa, the white supremacist group from Washington State Fusion Center, he got more than he had bargained for. There was an unrelated zip file entitled EM Effects on the Human Body. Within the file were 3 diagrams that presented information on electromagnetic weapons targeting the human body and brain. The first diagram, more specifically entitled Psychoelectronic Weapon Effects, seems to detail the potential use of such weapons, focusing on both mind control and physical discomfort. That's what we're seeing out of all the new weaponry that's coming out. It's all urban warfare. It's all electromagnetic warfare, just like the laser guns that just come out in China. So you got like force memory blanking induced erroneous actions. I mean, there's just sudden violent itching inside eyelids, man. That would suck. Forced manipulation of airways. Controlled forced speech. Reading and broadcasting thoughts, man. This is some crazy stuff. And this is out of 1974, this document right here. The next diagram indicates different processes in which the electromagnetic mind control would be employed through mobile phone networks or more locally from the ground or from the air by targeting specific individuals, like me. The psychotronic weapons' different frequencies are described to be able to impact different areas of the brain. You got them stingers that they have set up all over the place. So pretty crazy stuff. The third scheme speaks more about the mapping of a human brain and wave frequencies. Mentions that each human body has a unique bioelectromagnetic field, which presumably would give us the advanced technologies the ability to locate any individual in the world based on his signature, allowing them to directly target those individuals with cytronic weapons. We see that going on everywhere. So this is a really good article. Check it out. Our governments and our mainstream media is all complete liars, man. They don't tell the truth. They never have. They are a programming, they're part of this. They're all part of it. Here's some more propaganda news. 1 million species are now threatened with extinction because of humans. Scientists warns that you are the problem. You are the one that is causing the extinction. No, it's not us. It's all the stuff that they are doing against us. If you haven't looked into Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, or even look at the Georgia Guidestones. Read what's on the Georgia Guidestones. Anyway, I'm not going to get into this article, man. It's a bunch of BS lies. And just like all of the crap coming out of the mainstream. Now, this is a pretty wild article here. Mexicans are stealing the border wall materials, using them for home security. So they're actually stealing the fences and all kinds of stuff off the border wall, and then they're selling them to people to put up security around their homes. That's pretty crazy. So unnamed Mexican official told San Diego that 15 to 20 people have been arrested for stealing wire from the U.S.-Mexico border and selling it to security-minded homeowners in Tijuana. So they're stealing the fence at the border and then taking it down to Tijuana. Pretty crazy stuff right there. All right, where are we at here now? Hopefully this will load. Man, I hate this article here. But this is stuff people, may not know about. Hey, thanks out there. And much love. Thanks out there, Christy, Bamboo, all you guys out there. Much love out there. Man, I hate this kind of stuff here. So Converse launches the LGBT shoe line featuring preteen drag kid. Child used for woke marketing campaign. Man, this is nuts, man. They're trying to normalize all this stuff. When did everything get all messed up? When they started normalizing. Look at this poor kid. They've totally demented this kid. This kid is only 11 years old, and they got his brain so confused. And look at these two dumb guys, man. This is ridiculous. All these people should be put in a psych ward, man. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is all showing you where we are in the biblical times. But yeah, man, pushing this kind of stuff. In fact, I probably better not play that, because I'm sure they will hit me up for that. But man, so at 10 years old, they had this guy on there. You know, he's been dancing around in strip clubs. He's a little kid, man. Totally ruined his mind. This is insane. I think the parents should be put in jail. I think they need to go back in time a little bit. All right, so here's another article. This is a little bit older article, but the state of the nation this was in 2015, but I wanted to read this for some reason, and hopefully it'll come back to me. So geoengineering is the primary cause of global climate change, not the CO2. I pretty much agree with that. Non-stop chemical geoengineering has pushed the planet into climate chaos. So back in 2015 was set to be the hottest on record because of the intensified chemtrail operations worldwide. All pilots on leave are required to report to the CO, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, Operation Skyfold. If you haven't looked into Indigo Skyfold, you better look into that. That's history right there. U.S. government spraying tons of toxic coal fly ash into the atmosphere. But the reason why I wanted to look at this and go back over this is if you look now, I mean, we've had tons of forest fires. We've had tons of volcanic activity. We're also in the grand solar minimum. We're in the 11-year sun cycle, 400-year sun cycles. And what's happened is they have chemtrailed the planet. They've chemtrailed it so bad that it's going to cool it down. They're trying. We're going into the mini ice age. Plus, they're trapping it all in, so it's going to be like a double whammy. Anyway, that's a pretty good article. I got one more article here, or a couple here. This is a pretty freaky article coming out of the Brisbane Times. Queensland children locked up near pedophiles. Dozens of children, some young as 10, are being held in a high-security watch house near pedophiles, according to the Queensland Public Guardian. Queensland youth detention centers have struggled to cope with the influx of 17-year-old offenders. They passed reforms back in 2016, resulting in watch houses being used as makeshift prisons. So just in one night, they had 52 juveniles held in custody, and they were all in the same jail. They were being kept in solitary confinement. And, you know, this things right across from them were the sex offenders. Yeah, at one point there were 67 children in the watch house designed for adults on one night. So, yeah, man, that's how their government is doing things. Instead of getting people help, man, they just lock you up with probably the worst thing that could ever happen to you. We also have wildfire near Sugar Pine Reservoir, 75% contained after growing to 65 acres. This just come out today. You know, we got to be watching these reservoirs because I think they are the targets, and just a little bit of time is going to tell. So heads up on that. All right, now we had a friend out here, Susan Ferguson, sent us this article. She wrote, Evidence effects of the ionosphere heating by powerful HF transmitters. The text provides evidence of the cooperation of the United States, Norway, and the Russian in experiments using powerful ground-based HF 3 to 30 megahertz transmitters to heat the lower ionosphere by electromagnetic radiation. Excuse me there. Anyway, I'm not going to read this whole article. It's a good article, but I will have the links in the description. Let me get this pasted in here. Man, I'm pretty behind on all my stuff here tonight anyway. Thanks for sending this to us, Susan. It's a good read. You need to read it. And so it's, it's not a real long article, so it's definitely worth the read. All right, let's get into the radars and all that stuff. Hope everybody out there is having a good night, good Saturday night. Maybe we'll take some calls here in a minute. So here we are. We're back at this super spraying operation. Let me back this thing out. Let's go ahead and back this out so we can just kind of see a bigger picture here. I'll just go on up to the regional. Well, if it'll load. Hopefully the stream is running okay, guys. I can't really tell. All right, here we go. Finally got it, the whole thing to load. And let me check this. All right, so everything seems to be going okay. All right, so you can see this massive spraying operation over Canada, going down through Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, all the way down into Nevada. So these systems are actually running like backwards. It looks like you got a new spraying operation over the southern part of California, and then back down through the Bajas, down through the Gulf of Mexico. The storm may hopefully finally move off. Tomorrow's the 16-day forecast, so we'll be jumping into that. Let's check the let's go out here and see if the ship tracks are out here. I got to add the layer. All right. So you remember the last couple of days they've had a mega spraying operation going on out here in the Pacific. Look, it's so blanketed with the aerosols, but look, I can still see a few of them up there. So if we can get yesterday's to load, and then we'll go back to today's just to see which way they're heading. Yeah, instead of getting into a lot of the weather, I may just go ahead and open up the phone lines here in a minute. So yesterday, look, they were all the way up here off the coast of British Columbia, and they went all the way down to the Bajas. So let's go back to today. And there they are. I didn't see them quite, so now they're just a little farther south. But they're still there. So the shipping operation continues. And let me get this. Wow, why is that not loaded? Wow, what the heck? Pretty sure I had all this loaded up. And apparently this layer is not loaded. Well, we'll let it load here. While that's loading, everybody, welcome in everybody who is listening there on the DLIVE. If you guys haven't watched the DLIVE, the DTV Live, man, it has way better live viewing quality than YouTube, like way better. Like it's just as clear as my screen pretty much. Now YouTube, it'll clear up if you'll watch it the next day, but man, it's pretty amazing that their streaming is so much more clear. But welcome in everybody that's listening out there on that platform, everybody on Facebook. I can't really see who's watching where, but I am monitoring the YouTube chat just a little bit. I got all kinds of mods out. We got mods on all the channels, so they will take care of business if you don't like what we're saying. Looks like we might have some ship tracks down here, but it's probably just because it's so blurry. That would be a new one. Not really new. I just haven't seen it for several years. All right, this thing's really loading slow. Hey, while this is loading, let me try, and I will try to get the Skype line going here in a few minutes. And we'll take a few calls Saturday night. We'll try that. Hey, thanks out there, Cody, Aaron, everybody out there that helps us out. Okay, so yeah, there's just a bunch of aerosols and electromagnetics being deployed down here in the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, it's definitely time to rise, man. The evil has taken over. I mean, anybody with any common sense, even people that watch the mainstream, I mean, you got to be questioning, what the hell's going on? What are they doing? This is not how it's supposed to be. All right, let me just kind of see if any of this will load. All right, yeah, I'll try to take a look at that there, Ralph. It's hard for me to look at all that stuff. Oh, is that the ham radio? Okay, yeah, post that in there. Yeah, I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready for him to bring it all. Let's just get it over with, man. The quicker, the better. We know who wins in the end. All right, wanted to take a quick look down here. We got them experiments coming up here in another 9 days over in Iran, the Sea of Iran. You can already see the weather generators are still going. All right. Yeah, we'll have more documentation for a court of law. When we have these companies that are steering the atmospheric rivers and admitting to it, and they want people to watch it. They want the ABC gangs to see what they do. They want the people to watch. They want to prove that they can flood people out. That's the whole thing. They want to prove it so that they can hijack the skies. Oh, yeah, I was going to take a quick look at the Mimic map. So, we got a new tropical storm and down there. Let me just click on that real quick. You guys probably won't be able to see this, but I want to check this real quick. And, wow, where'd my box go? There it is. This thing is heading straight over to Australia, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a severe storm. This could be like a wintertime tropical storm. They've had an Arctic blast that has hit Australia, which they are going into wintertime. But that's going to be pretty rare. No, the atmospheric river, that's what we're looking at right now. This is the atmospheric river. This has always been up in the sky. This is the rivers of the sky. This is, they tap into this. They steer this. Several different companies use different methods to steer this atmospheric river. You got China and Russia just coming out. They just built a huge antenna array over here. They're going to be using the ionospheric heaters, just like a Hart facility. Like, there's tons of them on the planet. They're building a monster one up over in the Netherlands, I think. but it's going to be 1,000,000 times more powerful than the Hart facility. You got them down in Peru. You got them, they're all over the place. But what they do, some of them use the ionospheric heaters. Some of them use the ground-based radars that they could use the electromagnetic to steer this atmospheric river. We've seen it over and over. I've showed all the companies. If you just go back 2 nights and watch the video that has bombshell or shocking in the title, that's the videos that I expose the companies and show them admitting to it and show some of the tests that they're doing. So yeah, we're definitely getting some things going on here over the North America region. Let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, I mean, they control this. If you look at every war that's ever happened, they've droughted the company out. Well, how do you drought a company out? You keep the rain away. Well, how do you do that? You use ground-based radars will do it. The ionospheric heaters will do it. The super darns, the scatter radars, they got so much technology, so much weather technology. If you just go to climate view or weathermodificationhistory.com, you can see back in the 1800s was the first successful cloud seeding operations that made it rain. They can make it not rain, they can make it rain. No weather has been natural for a very long time, and they're all in on it. I showed you that article that they're all working with the ionosphere together. Kind of like the space shuttle stuff. They all work together. They all have bases down in the Antarctica, but yet they all show, we're all blaming them. We're going to war with them. But yet they all work together on other projects. So they've been steering this atmospheric river. This is not normal. I've been covering this stuff for about 5 years now. And, just like this atmospheric river over here, it normally, for years, it just goes up into the Aleutian Island chain and it kind of wraps around, loops down. And now, right after the Paradise Fires, they steered it straight over. Just go up, steered it straight over, washed away the evidence. And, yeah, I got that documented. Okay, I just wanted to document that there was some strange stuff going on there. But I'll get into that tomorrow. Oh, yeah, definitely. They probably had weather manipulation before the first plane. They were using antennas. I mean, we could go to that site real quick just to show you a few articles. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. I mean, people's took time to dig all this stuff up because the mainstream rarely covers it unless something good happens. There was a couple articles and newscasts that come out a couple years ago in California that they were admitting to using these little steam generators. They were like portable steam generators and some other kind of technology they were using. They made it rain a little more and they admitted to it. So I did want to check the polar vortex winds real quick. They're having that Arctic blast down here in the southern hemisphere. We can check the temperatures real quick. Take the wind off. And what I look for is I look for these hot spots. These are rapid heating events. That's not a very big one. Let me just click it forward and see if it does anything. But what you find is like when the United States got hit with the when we got hit with that polar vortex. Here, let's go back to that was 2018. I think that was in December, like 25th. That's right, because we got a present on Christmas. So look, here is the rapid heating event that brought down the super cold air Let me back it up a day at a time here. So this is on the 23rd, 22nd, 21st. Okay, so this thing emanated over here, over China, over here where the Russian woodpecker is, over there where some of the other ionospheric heaters are. And this is pretty freaking crazy. This is pretty damning what happened here. So exactly on Christmas, they started heating. Mind you, there's no sun up here. This is wintertime, so there's no sun. And we got this crazy, rapid heating event. And look what it does. It pushes this super cold polar vortex air right over the United States. And what even gets crazier is I keep going forward. It goes so far over, it starts getting into Europe. Well, guess what happens? They start up a new heating event on the other side. Look at that. And then it pushes it back over the United States and freezes our ass out for months. They parked it over the United States. Look, the coldest air on the planet back in December and January was parked over the United States. And they can't deny this shit, man. This was a purpose event that they did. Look, I'll rewind it back, and then when I go fast with it, you can see they pushed the cold air too far, so they pushed it from the other way and parked it back over the United States. Look at that. It went a little too far. Hey, we need to push it back this way. I mean, that's undeniable proof that they're modifying the polar air mass. And that's why I've been kind of looking down here to see what's going on now, to see if they're doing anything to send that cold air over to Australia. You know, the air was so cold back then. It didn't feel normal, man. It was colder than normal air, and that's because it was Arctic air. It shouldn't have been parked right over the United States. They're so full of shit and liars, man. But we documented that and caught them in the act. So I want to get back to the wind here. Just wanted to check the jet stream. You know, I'm really watching this because of all the ship track operations out here. I mean, our jet stream just don't even look right now. Check that out. So it looks like the shipping operation is splitting the high pressure system and splitting the jet stream up and over and then down so it can tap into the moisture down here in the atmospheric river. And even when you look at these winds, it's like, how does this moisture being pulled up get up there? Well, let's check the vortex level, see if there's any wind. See, there's no wind that pushed that moisture up. So what's getting it up there? There's only one thing that's pulling that moisture up there, and that's the ground-based radars. That's the chemtrails. That's the ground-based radars. They drop in all the heavy metals. Then they use the radars to steer the metal nanoparticles. That's why people are getting more gallons. That's why everybody has chest infections. Hey, thanks to Silver Wings. Much love out there. Yeah, it's a messed up world, that's for sure. And people need to, you know, decide whether to stay asleep and bend over and bear it, or wake up, get off your ass and do something about it. Like, we're simply running out of time. You know, before you know it, the 5G will be installed. They'll be able to affect your mind. They'll be able to affect the way you think, and you won't even know it. I mean, look at everybody. You know, everybody out here that's watching this show is awake to some certain extent. You know what's actually going on. You know that TV is just a control device. You know it's a programming tool. But the people that aren't awake, the people that we're trying to reach, you know, they just don't care. Unless it affects them, they don't care. That's what makes it so hard to wake people up. Plus, it's not fun knowing the truth. It sucks. Reality really sucks, but it needs to be known. So, that's why we're trying to do our part of this great awakening. I'm sure they'll take us out. They already have tried several times. So, but anyway, we're going to do it while we can, because if we don't, nobody else will. I mean, we're the last generation to try to save the planet. All right. Yep. No El Nino. I guess they gave up on it. I'll have to go look. They kept pushing this El Nino pattern, but it's not there. Not at all. Look at that. The water is actually cooling down. So, again, the professionals are wrong. Again, the above ground people are right. But the bad thing is, since there is no El Nino, that means the hurricane season is going to be worse. Look, you actually have pretty good heating anomalies over here. In fact, let's go back to 2016 with our last El Nino. And you can see, the water was much hotter out here, even all the way at the West Coast. So it had a little bit of a hotter area up there by the shipping lanes. Let's go back to now. So you got the heating anomalies are in weird spots, and that's just probably from them affecting. Look how hot. Look at the heat anomaly up here in Alaska. That's because they're screwed all the, part of that's Fukushima, but a lot of it is because they're affecting the polar vortex winds, or affecting the jet stream. They're affecting everything. They're out of control. All right, here we are at the weather modification history. Let's go to the timeline, the interactive timeline. You can go to the cloud seeding, you can go to the geoengineering, and Jim Lee's and the other guy that works on this site has done some amazing work digging up all these articles. Check out them ship tracks. Yeah, I've seen some worse ones, like before the Paradise Fires. Let's go to the newspaper articles. So here we go. You got articles from weather manipulation all the way back from the 1800s to 1930. Producing rain, 1891. Let's click on that. This come out of Salt Lake City, Utah, Saturday, August 11th, 1891. The government is going to make extensive experiments in producing rain in order and balloon for the purpose now in course of construction near here. There is but one balloon farm in the world. Man, I could hardly read that. I probably had to click it, but yeah, you can come out here. 1891, they were launching balloons to create rain. Here, let me just click one. I might be able to read good here. Here's August 29th, 1891, the Florence Times. Working with the clouds. Can rain be artificially created? The United States government experimenting in this matter. They were experimenting with the rain in 1891, guys. You think they were doing it back then and not doing it now? That's just asinine to think that they're not. Here's some of the patents back in 1891. Method of producing rainfall. Boston showered glass. Rain-making tests unpopular in Washington. Bombardment of the sky kept up all night. So back on November 3rd, 1892, they were bombarding the sky just like they're doing today. But yet people want to not admit to it. They want to call it this freaking water vapor shit. You know, it's all crazy. 1895, our cloud names date from the beginning of the century. In the essay in which he proposed the terms of stratus or sheet, cumulus or heap, and cirrus or feather for cloud names in an attempt to cloud classification. So them alto cumulus clouds don't look nothing like what we have now, man. All our clouds are different now. Anyway, you could spend months over here just going through all these articles. You know, we're talking 1800s, 1900s, the beginnings. So crazy stuff here. You know, Oregon was always has always had testing done on them. Whether you like it or not, they do it out there all the time. Look, here's August 27th, 1907. Works in Oregon and claims he guarantees results under contracts to make rain. Who's that sound like? That sounds like David Biles. How to control weather, electric shock for clouds, 1912. You know, we're way. This is the 1900s, man. Weather made to order, electrical control. Imagine what they have now. Just imagine what they have now. Electric rain, 1918. So, yeah. Producing rain with X-rays. Scientists' newest method of making droughts impossible. Oh, yeah, unless they want the drought. Gunning for the weather. So, you know, you control the weather, you control the world. That's what they're doing. What was that there? Spraying liquid air in clouds. Rain-making machine to produce natural storm. How could it be a natural storm? If you're using a rain-making machine, it's no longer natural. If you're using chemtrails, it's no longer natural. All right, Popular Science Monthly, 1872, rain-making airplanes for Montana. Rain-making experiments at McCook Flying Field at Dayton, Ohio, where airplanes succeeded in annihilation clouds and causing precipitation by spraying clouds with electrical charged sand. Comes a report that Richard T. Ringling, member of the famous Cirrus family, was purchased 10 airplanes to be used by professional rainmakers in Montana's dryland farming district. Ringling announces that these planes assembled at Great Falls, Montana, will make regular trips to various sections of the state, discharging positive and negative ions of electricity into the air from a wing of the machine as it speeds through the air to form the nuclei of clouds. An attempt then will be made to precipitate the clouds thus formed by spraying them with electrical charged sand. This process was developed by Dr. Wilder D. Bancroft. Wow. 1872, they were seeding the sky. All right, let me open up the, we'll take a couple calls. Let me make sure I got that going there. If I answer just, and I'm talking, just sit back and then I'll call you out by the first three digits of your no. I'm going to try to add everybody into the call that calls and hopefully keep it short. That way we could, get a few going here if this will work. I don't know if it's going to work yet, so hold on. Wow, it's already going. All right, we got you live. Who we talking to?
Hi, Mike. It's Casey.
Hey, Casey.
How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
Good. Much love to the missus, and make sure you tell her Happy Mother's Day from all your family here in the chat.
All right. Happy Mother's
Please
Day.
do that for us if you could.
She said thank you.
God bless her. I wanted to kind of talk to you all about something real positive. I think that we all know that we're in the season. And I was given confirmation. Actually, this was given to me on 4/23 of 17. So it's been some time since I've been given this. But let me just take you to Acts, okay? Because Acts, the way I can kind of try to explain this to everybody, if people are familiar with the Bible, it says that he sends messages to people. It's all over the internet with some people that I follow, and I'm getting lots of confirmation on the things that I've been shown myself. And in Acts it says that, you know, your daughters will prophecy and have dreams, and your sons, and everyone is pretty familiar with Scripture. So what he took me to today was in Numbers. So it was pre-trib rapture watchers, and he says, we are in the season. I'm coming for my bride. We are the bride of Christ. He says, occupy and redeem the time. He led me to 2 Corinthians, and that's chapter 5, verse 21. So since we're in the season, what it says here is, for he hath made him to be sin for us who knew no sin, that he might be made righteousness of God in him. We literally have God inside us all. We literally do. So he says that his redemption draws nigh. So the vision that I was given on that date, it actually is northern tribes. The northern tribes, they've been assembled for some time, Mike. Those northern tribes have been assembled, and it's going to come in one day and in 1 hour. And so in Jeremiah, it also talks about how the cities will be set on fire. But the thing that we need to remember the most is that no matter what happens, we're all saved through the blood of Christ. It's not a bad time. It's a good time because we're going to be going home.
Amen.
And another scripture that he led me to, and this one really, really floored me, and it's the last one that I'll read. It's Proverbs 1:32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So if you think about what Proverbs is saying here, and the turning away, those are the ones that are turning away from him, and that the simple shall slay them. I think we kind of know what's going to happen, because Christianity is being
it's being targeted.
Christianity is just, well, I have to be totally honest. You know what they're going through, right?
Yep.
Across the globe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is coming to America. It's definitely coming to America. And the thing that we need to hold on tight, because he says, whatever we need, all we have to do is ask. You're going to literally see the glory of God. If people are going to be in awe, a lot of people are going to be shocked because even on a spot when he comes down, say if you're not a believer, on that very spot he's going to come to you and he's going to ask you, do you believe in me? Do you have faith in me? All you have to do is say yes in that very split second and instantaneously ask him to just forgive you for your sins, and he washes you clean of them. And if you're in the middle of the war, which we know it's on the cusp of it, all you have to do is ask for water, ask for food, have total faith that he will provide, and he will. Yeah. We're not going to go without because he's marked us all as his.
Exactly.
So these are good times. They're good times to be living in.
I agree with that totally. And I agree with that totally. And I follow all the signs that gave. I mean, I didn't just come up.
Are you getting signs too?
Well, that's what got me doing what I'm doing. I quit when I got cancer, and then I kept getting these signs to go back and do it. And that's why I'm here right now. This
Wow.
is exactly.
Whoa. See, I'm not a prophet too, because even though it says that in Acts, I'm not a prophet. What he said to me actually on November, and actually he's been with me since I was age 5, because I went through abuse my whole entire life. And I'm okay because I got adopted by a really good family, and they got me away from all those abusers. And life is really good, but he's been with me since I was 5. Even when people were beating me, I would instantly forgive them, and I would put my arms around their neck and just say, it's okay, and I didn't understand why. I just actually thought it was normal, until I went to psychologists and stuff, and they said, no, it's actually illegal to hurt somebody. And then I learned later on in life that it wasn't. But still, I forgave them all, and I love all, because that's what he made me to be. He made me love everybody, and I'm thankful for that, because there's too much ugly out there in the world, and I don't ever want to be like that. So whenever somebody's really ugly, I pray harder for them,
Exactly. But yeah, that's
can't help how God made me.
we're all here for a reason. We're all here.
But how he
right now at this very time for this very thing. I mean, this is our destiny to try to wake up and save as many people as possible.
Yes, and even upon destruction, actually what we're supposed to do, and this is for the watchmen, and I know a couple of them myself, what we're supposed to do is, even in havoc, say if there's military blowing through your streets and people are running around confused and stuff like that, he actually showed me that in the vision, and I saw myself running up to another lady, and I was asking, are you right with Christ, have you asked, for sin? This is what we're supposed to be doing right now, is bringing awareness to people that we are living in the times, and you're never, ever too late to ask him to forgive you for everything. I sin every day, and I know that he forgives. You don't repeat your sins, of course, but he knows. That's why he died, It's exactly why he died for us all. And the reason why America's going to be hit so hard is because of the pride of one sin. And it's definitely the pride of one sin. And there's so much out there. I mean, I can't even name it all. I wish I had some time to tell you, but yeah, just be looking for him.
We're losing you.
Because,
there you are.
A lot of people are looking up because of you.
Oh, thanks. I mean, that's what.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just lost you there for a little bit, but you're fine. It's all good.
Well, thank you for having people look up to the skies, because the redemption is drawing nigh, he says. And we're in the season that he's coming for his bride. So we're all going to be fine up there.
That's
right. Be totally fine.
I'm right there with you, for sure. Well, all right, Casey. Hey, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much, and God bless you.
Bless you too.
No problem. God bless everybody out there in that chat, and I love you all.
Great information.
Bye.
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 All right, guys, we got an open line. If you want to, we'll take one or two more calls, and we'll call it a show. If anybody else wants to jump in. And I'm just kind of going through some of these, clicking these articles. And look at this one back here. Where was that? But it was talking about Rain Wireless Production. And it looks like, I can't read the date, but it looks like it's about 1891. All right, did I get that number pasted out there? There you go. All right. So, yeah, okay. All right, if anybody wants to give us a shout, give it up. Pick up your phone. That's what they're for. All right, well, I guess nobody wants to call in. Here, I'll drop that line out there in the DLIVE and see if anybody wants to call in from there. All right. I think we have one or two calls going. I think I might have hung up on one, but who we got here? We got you live.
Hey, what's up, Mike? This is Bamboo. Just wanted to say hello to everybody.
How you guys doing from just across the river from
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hang on. We got
on the Canada side?
Hey, hang on there for a minute. We got two. Let Bamboo talk first, and then I'll jump in with you. All right, Bamboo, go ahead.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Mike? I just want to give much love to you in the chat, and bless up to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you're having a nice weekend. Didn't really have much to say. Just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day, and much love to you, Mike, and your family.
Well, hey, much love to you, man.
And
you help us out tremendously, so
yeah,
much love.
yeah. It's a good cause, Mike. You know what you're doing is important work, and just want to say bless up.
Right on, brother. Amen. Have a good Mother's Day.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let other people give a call.
All right, brother.
See you guys later. Much love. All right.
How you guys doing there tonight? Just calling to say hi. Let you know what's going on here just on the north side of Detroit.
What's
the
happening?
Canadian side of Detroit.
All right. What's happening up there?
Well, it's really bad. We haven't seen any sun lately, hardly at all. It's the temperatures are freezing. Felt like it was 3 degrees today. I was in long johns and long shirts and sweaters, and I was layered up quite a bit. I was looking at the rivers that are draining the Great Lakes, and they're almost filling their banks into the farmers' fields. Actually, they were in a few spots. There is some flooding starting. That means Lake Erie, Lake Huron, and Lake Michigan are all really high in high levels. And I just thought, you guys should get an update on that situation.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if they're trying to make the rivers run backwards. I mean, they're flooding it so bad. This is like, days of the Noah type flooding, and the mainstream's not even talking about it.
It's absolutely scary to see, those sock puppets on CNN and MSNBC completely ignore what's going on out there. It's mind-blowing to see these idiots going on about some Trump-Russia collusion BS story for like 3 years now, and ignoring these facts. The way I see it is we are on our knees here, begging for this to stop, and I can't see them giving up on all their hard work, So
yeah, it's scary.
We might be in trouble.
Well, just like Casey said.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we can't be scared. We got to be. What I always say, you got to be just stay sober, stay prepared, and put on the full armor. We're good to go.
God does not instill the spirit of fear into us. That's for sure. I'm not afraid. I'm just thankful, Mike, for your show and for you guys for the answers you've given me. To what's actually going on, because God knows we cannot rely on the mainstream media for any information anymore.
No, it's programming, man. It always has been. That was the whole reason they created TV was for programming.
Well, no doubt about it. It's not in my house anymore. I took it out like 4 years ago, and I'm strictly pretty much on YouTube and whatever. Like, I watch some sporting events, but very limited exposure to mainstream crap.
Oh, hey, and
anyway,
we didn't catch your name yet. We forgot to get your name at the beginning there. I didn't hear it. Who we talking to?
We're talking to Straight Canadian.
Oh, okay.
I'm just on the north side of Detroit.
Okay, yeah, I know your screen name
I'm in
and
the
stuff.
chat all the time, so
Oh yeah, brother, I know who you are.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm right on. Thanks for covering us on the satellite imagery too. I see you doing that for us, and me and my friends are watching that. We're all grateful.
Oh yeah, I wish I had, could cover the whole world, but man, it I get so many complaints on how long my videos are. I'm like, man, it takes a long time. I can't even cover everything that I really want to cover, but we just have limited time. So
Well, you touch in on Detroit area pretty good. So we always look for Detroit and Toronto up here, and you do that for us, and we're grateful. And that's awesome. Really good.
all right, brother. Well, you have a good happy Mother's Day to your mother and all that stuff, and be safe out there.
We'll be with the family tomorrow. And much love to all you guys. Take care, brother.
All right, peace, brother. Much love. All right, we got an open line if anybody wants to holler. We're going to take one more call. Does anybody out there have information on the Orville Dam? Call in. Did you see that article right there? Cloud Weapon Puzzles Expert. Radioactive matter presents problems. 1947, May 23rd. The deadly potentialities of a radioactive cloud weapon are complicating plans for hiding men and machines underground in the event of atomic age warfare. Man makes his first weather. 1947. All right, we got you live. Who we talking to?
Hi, this is Radical Mike.
Hey,
how you doing?
What's happening, Ralph? I'm gonna make you a little video here pretty soon on oh, what happened? We lost him. He was there and then he's gone. Wonder if I can get him back. Let me try to call him back, see if it works. I don't know if I can. I know I got some credits left on here. Oh, wow, I think Skype freaked out. Let's see. What's the deal here? Hey, Ralph, try to call back in. I don't know what happened there. And it won't let me call you back. Well, anyway, Ralph, you can try to call back. I don't know why. Oh, I only have 0.23 Skype credits left. So I only have like 23 cents credits. That's probably why I can't call you back. Unless that's why it hung up, I don't know. Oh, his battery died. Okay. All right, Ralph. Hey, yeah, Ralph, I'm going to make you a little short video here pretty soon on all the seeds. I got a lot of it growing already. It's looking good. That chocolate plant, I can't believe how good that thing's doing. That thing was in a Ziploc bag for like a week before I even got to the PO, and it's thriving right now. So all the melons and all that stuff is growing. All right, I think we got you back.
How you doing, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, brother. What's going on your way?
I was listening to you talk about that chocolate mint. Spread that out, in another year you'll be able to send that all over the place.
That's crazy.
That stuff really goes crazy. And you don't let the pot sit on the ground either, because the runners will actually start rooting out,
Oh, wow. Yeah, we still have that one in the house, so we just transplant it in a bigger pot, you know. That baby's growing good.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's what I would do. I would pot them. Hey, anyways, you're doing good. I'm sitting here night after night and just like, wow, how can we be paying senators and Congress and presidents and we can't even get our skies cleared up? You know, I don't even want to go down the road of chemtrail. I always start off at condensation trail. Now, if these are only condensation trails, I don't think you got a right to be doing this to the people.
Yeah, either way, you know, like I was arguing with a troll there on Facebook today, and you know, he kept saying it's just condensation, and I told him, I said, look, man, if that's just water vapor, you know, he gave me this book from 70 years ago on water vapor. I'm like, dude, there's something wrong with our technology. How can the water vapor be worse now, you know, this week than all of the aviation flight in history? You know, something isn't right. That's for damn sure.
Well, I just don't, you know, I start off, and I take chemtrail right out of the equation. We'll talk about just the effects of taking sunshine from people. You know you know the video you did the other morning?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example right there. Psychologically, that don't fuck with your mind. That ain't supposed. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
Sorry about that. But you seriously don't think that messes with people's minds?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously. Pluses and X's and O's.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they got to do something else. They got to fly lower and slower, or slower. The last time I ever had a real natural sky back east here was the 4 days after 9/11. The skies were very beautiful as Nevada. And I'm not lying to you. Rhode Island had some really, really beautiful skies those 4 days.
Yeah.
Then they started right back up again.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then I go off on this video and everyone's... You do remember that.
Oh, yeah. And
Everyone does. I bet everyone thinks back a little bit. Everyone was walking around. Look how pretty the sky is. That's your last gift. Either you prosecute these people and hunt these people down for 9/11, or we're going to keep going. And I think that's a message I get out of that.
yeah, I do too.
And Trump won't do nothing about 9/11. There's a grand jury investigation. Nobody's even talking about that. And you can't when you got trails over your head scaring the crap out of people, taking their sunlight away from them. I tell you, people can criticize me, but I can't tell you how broken-hearted I am on that video where I go, some people say you get a little expressive. It comes from the west, and as the sun's coming up, it follows it.
Exactly.
But throughout the year, it moves south too.
Yeah.
So, like back in March, it was further south. The strip was. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, that's why they call
that
it.
strip gets right in back of the sun, and it cuts me off.
Yeah, that's why they call it the solar radiation management. They call it cloud brightening.
Right.
Yeah, they're creating a blanket to block the solar radiation coming in, man, and then it affects our bodies. It affects the plants. It affects everything.
It affects animals. It was weird. I think it was today. I had my dog out there. I planted all them onions. I'll be doing another video on taking the onions from that point and putting them in the ground. But my dog was in the shade, and it wasn't that warm here. And I look, and you could see with this solar shield, the ground is white. It has no depth to it in yellow spectrum. You know what I'm saying? It's white. You can see the sun is white. And even my dog reacts to it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering
So we're doing all this for aircraft people flying all over the world. I just suggest your car and my car can't do something like that. If our car or your car did something like that, we wouldn't be driving cars.
No, and you could even go back to the polar vortex when the temperatures were hitting like minus 70, minus 40. Our cars was not leaving chemtrails when they were driving around. You know, that just totally blows away their argument of the minus 40-degree temperatures create the condensation, the freeze, and all that BS, you know.
I've been in 28 below zero. I've been in 28 below zero, high humidity too. And I'll tell you, what these people are saying on a very, very, very calm, super cold day, if I drive from here to town 8 miles, and then on my way back, I should still be able to see my trail hanging in the field or hanging in the road.
Yep. Should be a big old long
That's
trail.
their philosophy. That's the way they got this. Well, I think the bottom line is then we can go to all the information Jim Lee has and many about chemical additives. You know, and that's just crazy, Mike. It's crazy to think. And they're tax dodgers. I want you to know that. Don't quote me, but do your homework, I think. They're tax dodgers. No one in the world pays for kerosene, tax on kerosene. Nobody.
Oh yeah, it's weird, man. We got a kerosene heater for when our electric bill is probably most than most people's house
To heat your home?
Yeah, but sometimes we'll use the kerosene, and I go up to just an old like a MFA place, and I get it for like $2 a gallon. Sometimes it's like cheaper than that. I think it was like $1.79 a gallon for a while. But if you go to like a Walmart, they're charging $20 a gallon for the same damn stuff. You go into Ace Hardware, you're gonna be
paying tax on it.
Yeah, and tax. So it's just crazy, man.
To heat your house, but they get to fly around and not pay tax on their fuel. I don't understand why the greatest, richest country in the world would be worrying about your kerosene tax to heat your home. Like an exemption.
Oh, yeah.
Like they got.
It's all multi-purpose, all agenda. Everything's agenda-driven.
It's all agenda, and none of the states, again.
Yeah, none of it's good for us.
I say it again, the only thing we got is one state out of this 50 starts stepping these people back. And if they don't, and I think if they do at this point, like if Maine did something like that, I wonder if I get a 15-foot snowstorm here in August. I'm dead serious about that. Maine stood up to all this crap, right?
Yep.
Would they dump 15 feet on me?
Hold on, I got a keyboard stick here.
Well, I guess, I've been rambling long enough, I guess.
All right, brother.
But you know what I'm saying? If a state sticks up for themselves, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to that one state? They got weather control. They got half the country flooded out right now. Food is of the essence. Plant, folks, plant whatever you can. Plant. And if it doesn't happen, it'll give you a little drill on emergency preparedness like our grandfathers did during World War II, rationing and all that.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably be there for sure by next year, if not next
Just
year, the year after.
Can you watch that video I posted?
I haven't watched anybody's videos in quite a while. I went on vacation for a while, and like I didn't watch anybody's videos. Like I haven't watched anybody's videos. So yeah, I'll try to go back and watch it. Which one was it?
Could you do this? Well, can you do this right now? If I copy and paste this video,
I can.
I didn't think you got to see it. Can you pull that off a chat and play that?
I'll try, but usually videos won't load on here. I'll try it though. So let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, because my.
Well, it's only a 30-second video, and what I do is I think it's a heater. I think it's a heater. You're listening to a heater, and I scroll. It's about, I think that one was 12 kcs wide, and that's on the ham radio band, Mike.
So,
what was it?
I'm going to tune this one. Listen to this.
I don't have the video in front of me. I think it was 3951.
Yeah, I got it here.
It went up about 12. Check this out. I'm not bragging or promoting my stuff, but listen to this.
$39.62 with a 5. 12 kcs. Have a good night.
Let me replay that.
So, I'm going to tune this one. Listen to this. Starts down here at 50, 39.50
Yeah, good.
with a 2. $39.62 with a 5. 12 kcs.
I'm measuring out the
Have a good night.
frequency.
Yeah, that's pretty wild right there.
You didn't see this?
No, I didn't see it. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen it.
Dude, that's what you've been talking about all these years. And I sent it to Jim, and I gave him the timestamp on it, and I didn't know if he could somehow have access to it and find out what heater was transmitting on 3951. And if he's got that information, they should tell you how wide the signal is. I think that signal, I forgot what I said, was it 12 kcs wide? So we've been all listening about ionospheric heaters for a long time. And I sit on that radio at night and I scroll up to about 5 meg, and I find quite a few of them. But I don't have the ability, I'm not smart enough to do the research on, like, the maps that you pull up. Like the maps you pull up, I can't do that on this computer. I already tried working trying to correlate the two, but I couldn't get it done. Anyways, I thought you'd find that interesting. I bet you didn't see that. So, your Pop, I don't know what the deal is with Pop, but if he's got a receiver, you can have fun doing this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you and I could be talking.
Yeah, one of these days
we could be doing a live chat.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get one. Yeah,
Go ahead.
One of these days I'll get one. Yeah, he's all into the ham stuff. Like he taught ham radio. Like he can send pictures and photos through the radio waves. I've seen him talk to the guys up in the space station. He talks to guys all over the planet.
You and I could simulcast, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're talking about DLIVE. We could be doing this on ham radio.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We can be doing this on ham radio, along with DLIVE and everything. And then people, all we have to do is ID every 10 minutes. You're not getting paid for any of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've done this before, not on anything that the scale that you do. But I'll tell you what, you and I could be talking right now. You had 1.5 kilowatts and an antenna like me, and I had the same thing. We'd have a jam pipeline. We'll probably go down 3861. I'll tell you a story about the 3861 frequency sometime. 3860. Anyways, have a good night. Thank you so much. I hope you found that interesting. Those are heaters. A lot of people, I don't think I expressed myself well, but I think those are heaters. And I go down to 2.7, sometimes up to 5, and just scroll around, and I find a lot of stuff out there. You take good care. Happy Mother's Day to you and your family down there, and I hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk to you mañana.
All right.
Stay well.
Be safe. Much love out there, Radical. All right, guys. I think we're going to call this a show. Anyway, guys, much love out there. Don't forget, tomorrow night's the 16-day forecast. Make sure you bring in your friends and family, and make sure they get the 2-week warning, the one that they said can't be told. We'll do it tomorrow anyway, guys. Much love. Thanks out there to Casey that called in, and Radical Ralph and Canadian. Can't remember his screen name, Canadian, something like that. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's hit the exit screen. Thanks to all the mods. Thanks to all the super chat. Thanks to everybody that sends us stuff in the PO and over there on DLIVE and all the other places. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's rise. It's time to rise. Time